When this cheetah gave birth to cubs, her adorable litter broke records in the animal kingdom. Hit the subscription button and ring the notification bell. This way you'll be the first to learn about the updates that appears on Inspiring Stories several times a day. The wild populations of cheetahs around the world are dramatically declining, so any cheetah birth is a reason to celebrate. When female Bingwa welcomed her litter at St. Louis Zoo in 2017, however, her record-breaking cubs were even more special than usual. St. Louis Zoo in Missouri first opened in 1910. And with over a century's worth of experience, the facility has likely seen it all when it comes to the creatures in its care. However, in 2017 staff there were in for an almighty shock. The establishment's latest surprise actually came courtesy of its 4-year-old cheetah Bingwa. The big cat, whose name is the Swahili word for champion, had been loaned to St. Louis Zoo from Wildlife Safari in Winston, Oregon. And she soon set about making waves in her latest home. After Bingwa arrived at the zoo, you see, she mated with 9-year-old cheetah Jason, who was on loan from White Oak Conservation in Yali, Florida. And lo and behold, her keepers later discovered that Bingwa was expecting a litter. Cheetah pregnancies generally last around 3 months, after which time the mothers would be charged with caring for their babies alone. Interestingly, the absent fathers can actually pose a significant problem in the wild. That's because the mothers are forced to leave their cubs unattended while they go hunting, and this makes the babies susceptible to threats. So while a litter of cheetahs will usually consist of 3 or 4 cubs, it's unlikely that they will all reach adulthood in the wild. In fact, given that their mothers are forced to leave their cubs a lot of the time, mortality rates among the young are as high as 90%. Since she lived in a controlled environment, though, Bingwa didn't need to worry about straying from her litter for too long. Zoo staff would continue to supply her with food, after all, so she could spend more time rearing her cubs. In fact, Bingwa and her babies would be in expert hands. That's because St. Louis Zoo is a major breeding facility for cheetahs, having welcomed over 50 cubs at its specialist center since 1974. So after Bingwa has welcomed her babies, staff would closely monitor the family during the critical first few months. Yet while the mother's life is easier than her counterparts in the wild, little did she know that she would still have her paws full. You see, when Bingwa eventually gave birth to her babies in November 2017, she welcomed a total of 8 cubs. This litter size, which consisted of 3 males and 5 females, was a first for St. Louis Zoo and the Association of Zoos and Aquariums, AZA. In fact, never before had a mama cheetah delivered and reared a litter of 8 babies at a zoo, according to research by the AZA. And those at St. Louis were eager to celebrate Bingwa's amazing achievement online. Yet despite the excitement, the facility waited until January 2018 to announce the news. In its Facebook post, St. Louis Zoo wrote, "For the first time in St. Louis Zoo history, a cheetah has given birth to 8 cheetah cubs. The cubs, 3 males and 5 females, were born at the St. Louis Zoo River's Edge Cheetah Breeding Center on November 26, 2017. The post continued with a quick update on the family. Mother and cubs are doing well and will remain in their private, indoor maternity den behind the scenes at River's Edge for the next several months, it read. The 8 births were also particularly significant considering the challenges that are facing wild cheetahs. The wild cats were once found across large swathes of Africa and Asia, after all. But in the past 5 decades, they have become extinct in 13 countries. By breeding cheetahs in captivity, then, zoos claim to help to protect the species from extinction. And St. Louis Zoo has a center in Africa that is leading conservation efforts there too. Working with local partners, the African team also helps to resolve human-cheetah conflicts, conduct research and provide education. So while St. Louis Zoo worked on preserving her species' future, Bingwa was busy being a mom. And luckily, she was a natural. She has quickly become adept at caring for her very large litter of cubs, grooming, nursing and caring for them attentively, Steve Bircher from St. Louis Zoo told People in January 2018. So in becoming the mother of a record-breaking 8 healthy babies, Bingwa has truly lived up to her champion name. Now, then, the zoo staff had to find suitable monikers for her litter. And once again they turned to the Swahili language for inspiration. Rather than trying to find names to suit all the cubs' personalities, though, their carers took a more straightforward approach. They named the babies Moha, Mbili, Tatu, Ni, Tano, Sita, Saba, and Ain, the numbers 1 to 8 in Swahili. For the first month of their lives, the 8 cubs remained in their special maternity wing with their mom. But when the babies reached 6 weeks old, they slowly started exploring outside of their protected environment. Later, in May 2018, keepers gave the then 5-month-old cubs access to their full habitat. Since May 2, the public has been able to view the young cheetahs at the zoo. And, judging from the response they've had on social media, they've already become firm favorites. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please let us know which one of these stories you found the most interesting. And if you like the video, click on the subscription button and turn on notification so you will be the first to know when we put out a new video. We thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.